Hello guys and welcome to the Traitors Australia Season 2 cast rankings, and today we are going to be getting honest, we're going to be getting brutal, and we're going to be separating the best players from the worst players this series. And let's just say, it's looking like it's going to be a very back-ended kind of list. So, if you are enjoying the series so far, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well, because you guys are smashing it out the park right now. I'm so happy with our progress, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. So, without much further ado, let's get into the list, shall we? So, we are going to start with the first person who was murdered, and that would be Angelica. I'm going to put her in not enough time. I think we got, to see 2 sentences from her the entire first episode. Angelica seemed like a really odd person to eliminate first, because there was no real reason to get rid of her. So it was a shame that she went so early, because we didn't really get to see anything from her. But it is what it is. That's the game. You got to play it to win. And unfortunately, Angelica she was too much of a target first off, because she was quiet. People wouldn't have suspected her to go first. So obviously, that makes you a prime target for a traitor. Next up, we have Corinne. And again, I'm going to put her in not enough time. I'm going to put her above Angelica, because we got to see a little bit more from her. But again, she was banished in the first round table just because people were like, it might be this person, it might be this person, but it might be Corinne. And then I think that was Angelica, and then not Angelica, Annabelle. And it just kind of went downhill from there. I won't lie, it was a bit of a tough pill to swallow, but it is what it is. There's not really much you can do about it. But she did do a good job. She did her best, so that's all you can really ask. Next up, we have Elias, and I'm gonna put Elias in the I don't know, did pretty well. I don't know. I don't want to put him in got lucky. I think I'm going to put him in not enough time, because he was gone episode 2, and it was just a bit of a pickle for him. He didn't have the best time. It was hard, it was tough, but it was unfortunate that on day 1, Sarah kind of fucked his game up a little bit, and then they ended up being like, oh, maybe he is actually innocent, and then the traitors were kind of like, you're going to die. So, in that sense, they knew he was a faithful, they knew he wasn't going to get voted out, so they also used him as a pawn to get the next person, which is Guyton, and I'm going to put Guyton in did pretty well. No, I'm not going to put him in did pretty well. I'm going to put him in poor player, because, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to put him in poor player, just because I don't think he played the game very well. He was banished second out, and he also threw, although he was dead set on Liam, he threw Ash's name out, and it just was a bit of a what? Why would you vote for Ash when the entire rest of the table has been speaking about you, and you haven't brought up Ash once? So it just felt like an odd move, and yeah, it was a shame that he had to go so early, but the game's the game. You got played. There's not really much you can do about it. As for Payden, I'm going to put him in did pretty well. And there's one reason why I'm going to put him in did pretty well, and not anything above. And I also can't put him in got lucky. But everyone believed he was a faithful. He did a good job of convincing people that he was a faithful, and that's what made him a target. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, there's not really much you can do if you're so good at being a faithful that you end up being a target for the traitors. It's one of those things where it's tough, because I don't have a category between did pretty well and got lucky. Because I don't think he got lucky, because obviously he was the third person to get killed, but he did all right, I guess. There's not really much more you can give. Yeah. Next up, we have Ash, and I clicked on the wrong thing. Ash is going to go in strong game. She had a very, very strong game until a little rat decided to blow it up for her. I feel like she could have made it very, very far in the game because up until Sam started spreading her name around, nobody really seemed to be suspicious of her. And it was only when he started persuading people to vote against her that her game kind of crumbled. So she played a strong game. It's just her game was ruined by somebody else. So I would put her in strong game because, like I said, she had a kind of legion around her that did trust her, did follow her, and did sort of have a trust in her. But it was blown up when Sam decided to expose her. And also, I thought she did really, really well at that round table with Sam, fighting against him. The group was they had already made their mind up, but I thought she did a really, really fantastic job at defending herself and also putting the blame at Sam's door. But it is what it is. She did play a very good game. She was trying to put Sam's name in people's mouths as well. So yeah, she did a good job. I can't put her any lower than that because I think she played a strong game from what I saw of her, and then she was unfairly kicked out so that Sam could be the traitor hunter. Whatever. Next up, we have Paul, and I'm gonna put him in Got Lucky. No, I'm gonna put him at the end of Did Pretty Well. People believed he was a faithful, which I think is the sole reason why A, he got murdered, and B, his name was never brought up around the round table. People just trusted him and believed in him, and I think that is a testament of you doing a good job. If you're constantly under suspicion as a faithful, it means you're not playing the game very well. And so it's a case of he was never under suspicion and that's why he had to go. So up until the point where he got murdered, I feel like he did a good job. But it is what it is. There's not really much you can do about it. He got killed. Here we go. So the next person is Ian, and I'm going to put Ian in Got Lucky. Honestly, the way he was defending himself, I'm surprised he wasn't kicked out earlier, if I'm being 100% honest. It was tough to watch him defend himself because it was just a mess. He was like, oh, I'm a traitor. I'm not a traitor, but like, I would say that if I wasn't one. So like, yeah, it just felt like he never had any conviction to prove to people that he was a faithful, so making it that far in the game kind of was a little bit lucky, I guess. I can't really... I feel like Got Lucky needs to have an addendum / meh. Because some people just... They were just They made it like halfway through the series. They were what they were, do you know what I mean? Ro, Ro. Oh, I miss him so much. He was a very, very good faithful. He had suspicions on Sam, which I thought was good. And his constant sort of, let's run the receipts back comment was just absolutely fantastic and incredible to watch. I really, really enjoyed it. I think he's actually a hilarious person, and I'm gutted we didn't get to see more of him. But I think he played a strong game. He was taken out because he was getting too close to the truth, and he was getting too close to the fact that he didn't trust Sam, and so Sam took him out. But he played a good game up until that point. I gotta say, I was pretty impressed with him. Next up, Annabelle, our first legendary person. I haven't decided whether I'm going to keep her at the top of legendary when some other people get put up there, but when I tell you this woman sat in the 5th round table and went, Sam, Blake, you're the traitors. She got it right. She got it right, and she had it right from episode 4, which is crazy. As soon as Ash was voted out, she was like, wow. So Sam is a traitor. Cool. And I think Blake's also a traitor because of the way he reacted to Ian's banishment. So she worked out the game very, very quickly. She absolutely fucking smashed it. She probably was the best player in this game. If I'm being 100% honest. She was the best player in the game. She got voted out because of incompetence from the other faithfuls, but she was the one that sprinkled those seeds. She was a martyr to the cause because slowly but surely people started to pick up on what she was saying. And that's why Luke is also going in Legendary. I think he played a fantastic game. He kept it low, and then he blew up his game to expose Sam, and then he got taken out. There's not much you can do. He took his shot, and he made sure that other people were very, very in tune with what he was thinking. Made sure to put his point across and go, guys, I'm backing Annabelle here. I'm backing her up. And everyone was like, oh, maybe he's a traitor. And then he died the next day. So him dying was actually the best thing for his game. Weirdly, or best thing for the game, not his game, because it meant that people started to think, rah, maybe they had a point. They were both faithful. There's no smoke without fire. Maybe Sam is a traitor. And that brings us to Simone. I'm going to put Simone at the bottom of strong game purely because she cottoned on to the fact it was Sam, tried to lead a charge against him, and was doing very, very well. Her and Camille were doing fucking well at getting people on board. And then Sam just said the magic words of, but what if it's you? And then suddenly the whole room just changed. Sam did that so many times, and I will repeat this for a lot of people, but he did but what if it's you, to at least 3 or 4 people. And it was so frustrating to watch, because he did it to Annabelle, he's now done it to Simone, and her game ended with the fact that she called everyone dummies. This game should be called The Dummies. That's her. So I'm putting her in strong game because although she was a little bit naff at the start, she got there eventually. After the big expose on Sam, she was the first one to cotton on, which surprised me. So that's why I put her in strong game. Keith, poor player. Poor player. In fact, I'm putting him below Guyton. I cannot believe this man has how many years as an undercover cop, as a special forces thingamajig, and he was not able to suss out a single traitor. You're taking the piss. The 2 people that he trusted most in this game were Sam and Blake, the 2 traitors. What are you talking about? Yeah, you're going in poor player, because what is that all about? That's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm just so upset and angry and disappointed in him. As for Hannah, I'm gonna put her in did pretty well, the top of did pretty well, purely because she worked out that the shield plot, the fact that Sam hid the recruitment with his shield and he could have killed himself and used the shield to protect himself. She worked it out first, and that's when she told everyone. And then, again, she was sprinkling seeds. She was planting seeds of doubt in people's minds. Did they pick up on it before she was killed? No, but she was killed because she sussed Sam out. I think she did pretty well in the game. She was pretty frustratingly stupid up until that point, and then she worked it out. And then I was like, do you know what? I've got to put you in did pretty well, because you actually did do pretty well. And I was impressed, I gotta be honest. As for Gloria, I'm going to put her just underneath Hannah because, again, she worked it out, but she worked it out too late. And Hannah was another victim of Sam's, but what if it's you? I'm so sick of Sam doing that and just getting away with it. And it's because of 2 certain people in the room that I've still got to rank. And honestly, Gloria, you're lucky that you're being put in did pretty well, because up until that point, I was getting pissed off with you. I was getting upset because I was like, you are... She was, to be fair, she was voting for Blake a lot. She did believe it was Blake, and then she believed it was Sam, and then that's when her game imploded. And people literally went, oh, we haven't looked in your direction, Gloria. And she went, yeah, but like, I can't force people to look, to like bring my name up at the round table. If it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up. How's that my issue? What's going on here? What's happening? What's going on? Because this is not okay. Do you see what I mean? I feel like sometimes the arguments against people were just so ludicrous and ridiculous, and I've had enough. Had enough. We're down to the final 5, and I'm just going to knock 2 out in 1. Liam and Sarah, if you'd have played the game a bit better, you'd have got lucky. Because the reason why you made it to the end was because Sam knew he could play you. The traitors knew that whatever they said, you'd listen to them and you'd vote with them. Because you didn't have any thoughts of your own. It was frustrating to watch because Liam worked it out at the last minute, too little too late in my opinion. So it was just a tough watch. But on the whole, he was just in Sam's back pocket. He did not doubt Sam once. Even when Hannah was like, yeah, he could have actually tried to kill himself and then used the shield to block that so he didn't die. He was still sort of like, no, I think it must be Keith. It was just tough to watch is what it was. So yeah, I didn't really rate Liam as a faithful. I thought he was quite bad. He just had such an insane desire to keep following Sam's lead, never ever making a decision for himself. And then, like I said, he just ended up making too many mistakes and then realized too late that he had fucked the entire game up. As for Sarah, I still don't think she knows that she fucks the game up. She left that game being like, huh? You were all traitors? What? No, surely not. No way, surely. Come on. She was such a wild card. Like, and wild card in the worst possible sense. She would go in to every single trial or every single banishment and being like, oh, I'm gonna write Sam's name down. I'm gonna write Sam's name down. And then it would be like, regrettably, I'm voting for you, Annabelle. I'm voting for you, Simone. I'm voting for you, Gloria. I'm voting for you, Keith. I'm voting for you, Liam. You fucking taking the piss. You voted out every single innocent person there was. Every single time. You allowed yourself to be swayed. Every single time. It was frustrating to watch. I've never been more frustrated in my whole life watching someone on a reality TV show get things so wrong. Oh God, I'm trying not to get too angry because boils my blood. But we are moving on to the top 3. The 3 traitors. And if I'm being 100% honest, Sam is going in the got lucky section. He played an okay game. His gameplay strategy was take out the people who are saying my name, which just made more people suspicious. And every time someone died after they'd accused him, it kind of made more people go, that's a bit weird that the people who keep accusing Sam keep dying. And it was a case of like every single trial, whenever they voted out someone who was saying Sam's name or someone died that said Sam's name, it just meant that a couple more people started to pick up on the fact that, oh, maybe it is Sam. He got lucky because they never came together and actually worked out a plan to get rid of him. He was good at deflecting. That's why I'm not giving him a poor player mark, because he was very, very good in the banishment, like the round tables. But the way he played the game, he was very cocky, and I just feel like he didn't actually play a very good game. Like, there are better traitors that we've had. I think Sam's one of the worst ones we've had, actually, because he didn't deserve to make it to the final, and he definitely didn't deserve to win, because he blew his game wide open by getting rid of Ash. If he'd have actually worked with Ash, I reckon he could have stayed under the radar, but getting rid of Ash so early on and just being like, trust me, bro, it is Ash. We've got to vote Ash out. Well, why have we got to vote Ash out? No, we just got to vote her. She's a traitor. Trust me. It's rubbish. It's a rubbish reason, and you deserve to not get anything. That's me being mean, but he did deserve to lose, hands down. As for Blake, I'm putting him in top of strong game. I think he played a very, very good game. He was under the radar for a lot of people. He was only ever accused by by Annabelle and Gloria. They were the only 2 people that seemed really certain that it was Blake. Other than that, no one really seemed to give him a second look, and he kind of did go under the radar. He never directly accused people when he was arguing for or against them in the banishments, but he made sure that he was like, oh, can you see why this looks bad? Like, I can see why this looks bad. I'm not saying it's you, but like, the evidence is stacking up against you. He did that kind of thing. He did it to Sam a lot. I think he did it to Simone. I think he also did it to Liam towards the end as well. And it's a good tactic, I think, because it's almost like you're not putting your full weight behind a theory that's, you know, is wrong. You're just being like, look, it looks like this. So like, what do you want us to think here? It's a smart tactic. And so I was genuinely gutted. And the reason I've not put him in Legendary is because he fucked up by not teaming up with Camille and Liam and Sarah to get Sam out so that Camille and Blake could have shared the money. I think that would have been really, really smart personally, but it is where it is. There's not really much you can do at that point. So, yeah, Blake, I'm really sorry. But we come on to Queen Camille. I'm going to have to put her in Legendary. And I'll tell you why I'm putting her in Legendary. Camille was the only reason why I continued watching after Annabelle left. And Simone, actually. When Simone left, Camille got recruited, I was like, okay, there's someone in the Traitors team that I actually do want to support now. I didn't want to support anyone else before, but she made some legendary moves. She was never suspected as a traitor, which I thought was incredible, and she just absolutely smashed it. I thought she did really, really well, and she was good as a faithful. She was on to Sam, and then she was recruited, and she stopped Sam from winning the money. So that is queenship. So that is the list today. That is the ranking. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you agree, disagree in the comment section down below. Let's try and get me to 600 by the end of Feb. We are so on the way there. It's not even halfway through the month. And wait, actually, it might almost be halfway through the month. And we're already at 538, which is crazy. I don't think we're gonna make it by the end of Feb, but prove me wrong, guys. Come on, prove me wrong. I don't like being proved wrong, so you got to do something here. But without much further ado, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like the video, do all that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Keep on ranting. Bye now.